He was originally an unparalleled expert but only wanted to live off others. Now, for a lifetime meal ticket, he directly spent 1,000,000 spirit stones. His generosity was so extravagant that even high-ranking officials in the court were amazed. They willingly gave up their dignity and wholeheartedly served as his cook. Seeing the rapid transformation of the Ministry of Revenue's Shangshu, the two girls next to him found it hard to believe. Zhang Yangming was clear that if one can make money, there's no need to worry about face, let alone becoming a cook or even acknowledging him as a father. All of it was done willingly. Later, he asked the prince if the source of these spirit stones was legitimate, speculating that the prince might have secretly sold ancient treasures from the palace. If the emperor investigates, it could be disastrous. However, Xiao Tian reassured the Shangshu. These spirit stones were compensation from an organization that had kidnapped him. A matter of conscience. Hearing Xiao Tian's explanation, Zhang Yangming immediately asks, which foolish organization dared to offend the prince? Internally, he marveled at how much Xiao Tian must have suffered for them to compensate him with 1,000,000 spirit stones. It appeared the prince's past was truly tragic, but the two girls who knew the truth remained speechless. The term conscience compensation didn't seem quite appropriate. Clearly, he had infiltrated their lair, eliminated the entire organization, and found their hidden treasury. Yet he claimed it as spiritual damages, truly shameless. Meanwhile, Xiao Tian whispered in Zhang Yangming's ear, confidentially revealing that this was all his personal stash, never to let the empress find out. Both being men, Zhang Yangming naturally understood the need for secrecy. He patted Xiao Tian's shoulder, expressing gratitude on behalf of the southern frontier's people. Then, Xiao Tian suddenly wondered how Zhang Shangshu planned to spend these 1,000,000 spirit stones. Zhang Yangming explained it would be used for disaster relief, food, and supplies, as well as constructing temporary housing. Xiao Tian found it somewhat problematic for a large group of people to gather without much to do, which could easily lead to trouble. He suggested considering work for aid. Zhang Yangming didn't understand the concept and asked for an explanation. Xiao Tian explained it meant hiring them for farming, clearing land, and infrastructure projects. This would benefit the nation's tax revenue and strengthen its power. Most importantly, it would separate local refugees to prevent conflicts. Zhang Yangming was initially puzzled by Xiao Tian's suggestion, but then he was astonished and immediately embraced the idea. He exclaimed that this plan was perfect. He had never imagined the prince possessed such governing talents. Such ideas were unheard of to him before. Xiao Tian smiled without saying a word but internally remarked, after all, Earth's economy had been ahead of them by thousands of years. He then raised his glass to Zhang Shangshu and said, since the Shangshu is satisfied, let's have a late-night meal together. Meanwhile, Zhang Ling and Lu Yan wore expressions of astonishment, as if they were getting to know the prince all over again.